I wish I could laugh because it's funny, but it's just not funny anymore. It really isn't, is it? Right, who should be apologising at this point? Is it the players or the manager? Or us fans who've just had enough of it? Somebody needs to apologise. Good to see the away fans never booed at the end. And they applauded the team off and the manager, but I think in the end you'd expect them off the away fans to do that, to be honest with you. But anyway, on to the game. Right, well, okay, so yet again we get to the point where it looks like 11 players have never played on the same side before, as though they've just met each other before. And I'll go right back, I'll go left back, I'm good at scoring goals. Probably, unfortunately, we don't have anybody who's good at scoring goals at the moment, which is mainly the problem. We don't have anybody who's good at scoring goals. When we went 1-0 down, and yeah, we know how they scored that one. Fantastic, brilliant defensively. What was he doing in the left back role anyway? God knows. I mean, it's part of the philosophy. Anyway, let's go to the first point. Right, when we went 1-0 down, I just thought, right, there's no way, we may get a draw out of this. We may score another goal, but we can't score as two. Once they scored the second goal, I knew, even at that point, and they scored the second goal quite early on in the first half, I knew that we wouldn't win, because I knew there was no way that team had 3 goals in them. Now, for United, for somebody to admit early doors in a game and say the game's already over so early in the match, for I had to admit that, and I mustn't have been the only one who came to that realisation really quickly in the match. That's a damn indictment on the current setup at United, that you have no confidence that we are going to reply to even get a draw. And yet that used to be the philosophy at Old Trafford. You went down 2, we'd come out fighting half time, or we'd nick one just before half time, second half would go on and we'd maybe win it 4-2. That was the United way. Those days, and I know keep people going, oh, stop going about it. Those days are gone. But we're not the only side that do that. There are other teams who do go down a couple of goals and manage to, win back. I've seen it on Match of the Day. Match of the Day, yes. No, we've been first on Match of the Day in recent times because of losing to Norwich and Bournemouth. I think we may be the first team on again because we've lost again to Stoke. Now, it is Stoke City. Now, let's just examine this. Stoke City, they are full of like 2 United rejects and 2 Liverpool rejects, and probably rejects all over the place. This is where it's come down to now. We're playing against rejects from other teams on our own team, and we can't even beat them. We look like there was no way we were going to mount an attack. We don't seem to have this philosophy of the counter-attack. Doesn't seem to exist with this current team. We don't have a counter-attack. It just doesn't exist as a footballing option. It's like, no, what is counter-attack? We don't have it. It's just slow, methodical, it gets breakdown. We don't have fast-paced counter-attack. Ball out from the goalie, hit up the side. We don't have that. Second half, Young was getting up to the top, putting crosses in, but Stoke players heading out all the time. Fellaini should have scored probably, but Fellaini, well, anyway, you know my thoughts on Fellaini anyway. I don't even know why you see them wearing United shirts. In fact, it's a shame to point this on Fellaini, because you have to look at that squad and say how many of those players have been brought in by Van Gaal are fit to wear a United shirt. Not many of them. Well, obviously Van Gaal's brought them all in, but the Spanish contingent today, very poor, apart from, well, our goalie had to make a couple of saves. The Dutch contingent through the whole of the season have been poor. Blind's passing is just awful. It's you just go through, I don't know, you just go through the team and it just looks awful. He's brought in DP, Martial and Pereira, young guys who should only be playing as fringe players, coming in at different times in the game instead of playing all the time, and they are just suffering from it. It's like Januzaj did when Moyes was playing Januzaj all the time. One great game, and then all of a sudden he just suffered through the rest of that league, the season that Moyes had, the half season with us. It's the same with Martial and Depay. Liverpool at home, early doors. This is the future. Ever since then, it looks more like the past. It just looks awful, and we're relying on them every single game to do something magical, and it hasn't happened. Rooney just looks a spent force. There's no passion on the pitch. There's no leadership on the pitch. I know when Rooney came at half time, come on lads, let's go lads, but after that there was nothing, but more of the time arguing with the ref, and that's as much as it goes. We don't have any leaders on the pitch. There's no passion on the pitch. There's just nothing. Again, I'm saying not excelling in area. The defence was torn apart sometimes. In fact, Stoke were either on a better side. They should have scored probably 5 goals today. They were just tearing through our defence like it was butter. And so I don't know why I say this, because I put these videos up on, and then people still come on to them and still say, oh, I feel sorry for LVG, he needs more time. You know, what are you on about? He needs more time. It's his team, it's his philosophy, and we've just lost our 4th game in all competitions. The first time that's happened since 1961, which was actually before I was born, the year before I was born. So funny enough, I can't actually go back to my own United history to go back to say, oh, I remember when it was that bad, or this era, or that manager's era. This actually goes back before my era to see something as bad as it is. You look at Van Gaal, and he looks a defeated man. He looks as defeated as the team that he's putting out. There's no leadership from the bench. He never gets up. I'd have a little bit. Funny enough, the press conference he showed, he looked like he had a bit of fighting spirit. Why doesn't he show that on the touchline? When things are going wrong on the pitch, why doesn't he just get up on the touchline and start to flipping show that he's interested? And it's just like everybody, you know, it's like Giggs, he's falling slowly back into a seat that we may not see him. Oh, I'm back again. That's what he's, you know, if Giggs' seat could swallow him up, it would swallow him up, because he's just shrinking himself. So what's the answer? I don't think Giggs taking over the answer, and people do not want Mourinho out of club. They absolutely do not want him, saying he'll only be safe for a couple of seasons, and he might only win the Champions League or the league. I may settle for that one personally, but there you go. You know, horses for courses. He plays boring football. Yeah, Mourinho may play boring football, but apart from this season, obviously, where it's all gone horribly wrong at Chelsea, he's been pretty successful as a manager. So I wouldn't mind a couple of Mourinho years, but I can understand why people don't want him out of club. And he says he doesn't bring through youth, blah blah blah. Yeah, the problem with Van Gaal, he's brought in youth, he's played youth, and it's just been an awful experiment. So maybe Mourinho's right. I don't know. There's obviously if sports hows, maybes and whys, but at the end of the day, my New Year's resolution is quite simple. Is that if anything that we can do as fans is to somehow influence the board to make a decision, because something needs to change. We cannot no longer keep with this man at the helm. Enough is enough. By his own standards, I've said this before, when he brought in Di Maria, and Di Maria was absolute pants. When it came to the end of the season, he just thought, sorry, you know, it's not working out. Sorry, Di Maria, you've got to go. Cut all losses, you've got to go. So why doesn't the board do what the manager does and just cut all losses and say, it ain't working, it is pants, it's bollocks, it's shit, and it's depressing, you know, for United fans all over the world to sit and watch that at games and TV and laptops and just sit there thinking, what is going on? You just want a bit of fight, a bit of desire, a bit of passion. If it doesn't come from the manager, well, and it doesn't come from anyone on the pitch, and people aren't, even though United fans are blinking singing, and the players aren't picking up for United fans, you know that the game's a bogey. So my New Year's resolution is, I just hope and I pray and I just wish that come the new year, come when that bell goes, you know, starts the 2016, that LVG is no longer our manager, which means that the board have got 2 days to get rid of him, and I'm just hoping that he's gone by Chelsea. So it's like 48 hours to get rid of the manager. I think he needs to go. He needs to go. Well, I did say when he needed to go at Norwich, and of course he was still there, and he gave that, you know, speech. You need to apologise. What are you on about? You need to apologise to us for having to go all the way down there to watch your brand of boring football. But anyway, he hasn't apologised to us, and well, enough's enough. I make no apologies for saying this, and I've said it, I've been consistent, and it's not as though people said to me, oh, you've never liked it from day one. That's absolute bollocks, because from the moment you started United, I just wanted us to you know, I thought, yeah, being safe hands here, the guys won things, but talk about disappointed. If people think Moyes was disappointing, God's sake, this guy really is a disappointment, massively disappointed. So, you know, it's not as though I hate him. I had no quantities about him being manager. I just wanted him to play, you know, to actually do something entertaining on the pitch. Be a tactical genius that we'd seen in that substitution. Remember the one when he was the Holland manager, and wow, what a fantastic substitution. He substituted the goalie because the goalie's going to bring him now is better at doing pens. We thought this guy's a tactical genius. Well, maybe that was his last great, you know, genius tactical decision he ever made, because I've not seen any since. So there you go. That's when it was. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. So yeah, yes, well, so basically 48 hours to get rid of the manager, put Giggs in charge. Mourinho, I don't care. I you know, at the moment I'll settle for the cleaner. I'm sure there's other people around Old Trafford now who probably do a better job at putting out a better team and trying to do something, because he may as well not be there. You know, I'll do it, because people say, oh, well you try doing it. You try doing his job. See if you can be better. Well, for fuck's sake, he's just lost 4 games in a row. I'm sure I could do better. So United, if you want me to come down the job, I'll give it my best shot. I'll have a go, but you never know. I'm not promising anything. And if we are poor, I will actually apologise. There you go, humble guy. Anyway, it's ruined me Christmas, that one. It really has ruined me Christmas, and I don't even going to watch much today. So anyway, it's up to you, the board, and it's up to you, to the fans, to try and make it known that we've had enough, and you know, do as much as you can. Write in, fax in, do what you do. Persuade the board to get rid of LVG. Enough is enough, and I've got no apologies for saying this. Goodbye.